Should we leave? Oh, you just that eyelid.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Afternoon, Mr. Mngomezulu. Nelsiwe Dlamini from Swaziland News. Can you please briefly tell the Swazis and the International Committee about today's court proceedings? What happened?
Well, what transpired today at court, maybe first of all, thank you very much for this opportunity. What happened today was that we proceeded with the trial, and we continued to listen to or to hear the evidence of the Crown. We were dealing in the main with the video evidence today. We listened to the video evidence in relation to a press conference that was held in last year, sometime in June, before the uprising on the 29th of June. In the main, you had Xolani Masego who spoke, you had MP Baqede, you also had MP Smelani who spoke. We are continuing with video evidence tomorrow as well. Maybe the other thing just to add is that last week Friday, as you would recall, we attended trial for 3 days last week until Thursday. And then on Friday, we also approached the court before Justice Doris Shabalala, where we had filed an application to execute the order that she had granted last year, ordering that the bail appeal application be set down at the earliest convenient date in the new court session, the Supreme Court session, that is. So we had been given a date of the 29th of April for that particular purpose. However, we successfully argued that we should be granted an earlier date, and we are happy to announce that today we actually then got an earlier date. The bail appeal application has since been set down for the 25th of March this year, where we will be arguing for the release of our clients on bail.
Oh, thank you so much about that update, and it's a very good win for the nation. The new date for the bail application. You can repeat that, Mr. Ngomezulu.
The new date for the bail application before the Supreme Court will now be on the 25th of March. Yes.
Thank you so much. We have seen two stories during the weekend. One is that there was a lawyer who had been working in this case who happened to be the spy of the state. Also, we have also gathered information that there have been spying cameras put in place to jeopardize the case. What can you say in relation to that?
Well, maybe just to deal with the first issue that you are raising with me. Yes, we have confirmed with the reporter from Swaziland News who broke the story over the weekend that there has been an infiltration of sorts of our legal team and by a certain Mr. Michael Tabete. Thankfully, we were able to identify that and root out and identify and isolate Mr. Tabete in time. Maybe perhaps one should also emphasize the fact that there has not been any compromise whatsoever to our defense, the morale of the team, and our client's case in general. But we also want to condemn the actions by Mr. Tabete because not only were they unethical, but they bordered on criminality. We will soon be advising our clients going forward on what measures to take to deal with his actions. Mr. Tabete is a candidate attorney. He was with TR Masego attorneys. And when the file or the instructing attorney became Ben J. Simelani, we had retained Mr. Tabete's services because we needed a runner and someone that can connect the team in between hearings. And so he was fulfilling that responsibility. But we think his actions have brought the attorney's profession into disrepute, and we will soon be taking steps to deal with this issue until finality. Insofar as the issue of the changes made to the consulting room at the prison, yes, we can confirm that there is a CCTV camera that has been installed. we've got reason to believe that the CCTV camera has got a capacity, or or should I say, there's also a listening device that has been attached to it. And we think that is a violation of our clients' rights. We condemn it in the strongest possible terms. We think there is no reason at all for the state or state agents to want to eavesdrop on clients' conversations with their attorneys, and we reject this type of conduct. And we will do everything within the confines of the law to ensure that we deal with the issue as well, until such time that we get relief on that, or we get assurances that our consultations are not being listened to. There is no zooming in of our into our court papers or whatsoever documents that we share with our clients during the course and scope of our consultations. I mean, I can just give an example of yesterday, as the instructing attorney was consulting with the clients in jail. The tables had to be shifted to allow a better viewing angle for the camera, to be able to zoom into accused number one, Baqede Mabuza, and presumably also to zoom into documents that were placed before the table. We think this is wrong. It's a continued abuse of our clients, even though they are now under lock and key by the state. And we condemn this, and we will do anything and everything possible within the framework of the law to ensure that any violation of our clients' rights is really taken to task. And we are not going to allow this to continue. And we want to call on the state to cease and desist from this type of actions, because we think it is inflaming the situation in this country, and it is further abusing innocent members of parliament who are already under lock and key. It is completely wrong. So, I mean, I can't take it any further than that, but safe to say that we are working on this issue to ensure that it doesn't continue, and any actions by the state to listen to our consultations with our clients, they come to an end.
Siyabonga Mkometulu, mhlambe ungathini nje kokugcina kusho ukuthi licala litaqhubeka yini kusasa nangalesingakhi uneke ukuthi uAshorishe Maswati ukuthi everything is in place kusebenteka ngemandla.
Yes, we are continuing with the trial for the next 2 days. On Wednesday, on the 23rd of February 2022, we will continue to listen to video evidence. We'll also continue yet again on Thursday. And then on Friday, we will approach Justice Doris Chabalala just to confirm the new date, and hopefully then argue for costs, because we would not have filed an application to execute the order of the 29th of December had it not been for the non-compliance on the part of the respondents. So that's where we are. We will proceed this week. Maybe just lastly, we also want to state that the proceedings proceeded quite well at court today. You will recall last week there was a bit of drama on Thursday. We think, the warders were quite, introduced some stringent rules. But today we noticed that the mood was light in court, and the warders, they treated our clients fairly and the members of the public fairly. We just felt that we should acknowledge that. But also just to mention that we have had a great deal of support from members of the business community. We want to thank that, and we want to urge all others to find space and time to lend a supporting hand to the work that we do. But we also want to appeal to members of the public as well to continue supporting the members of parliament, because they are where they are because they stood for the right thing. We believe that they are on the right side of history, and we have got no doubt in our minds that history will judge them right. This country, Swaziland, is going to be a democratic state. There is no doubt in our minds about that, because you cannot have a situation where the parasitic nature of the state continues. All of those things have to come to an end. It's totally unacceptable. The reforms that the members of parliament were calling for were justified in the circumstances, These reforms were being called for by their constituencies. It's not them that called on people to submit petitions, but it was the constituencies themselves rather, out of their own volition, that chose to make submissions to their members of parliament. And they've been criminalized, or should I say, they find themselves where they are because they have taken to heart the concerns of the people. We think that's unfair. We think that's unacceptable. It shouldn't happen in a democratic society. The leaders of this country have to know they do not have a choice. The people will have the last laugh. Mark my words. I thank you.
Thank you.
Aluta continua.
Siyabonga.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Siyabonga, Professor.